Design Village Co van der Horst staat bekend vanwege de grote namen uit de designwereld waar ze mee werken. Legende Tom Dixon mag daarbij niet ontbreken.
Zijn ontwerpen zijn iconisch, hij is wars van regeltjes en kleurt graag buiten de lijntjes. Hij is ontzettend commercieel, maar schaamt zich daar absoluut niet voor. De Britse interieur designer Tom Dixon is vandaag aanwezig hier bij Co van der Horst in Amstelveen en presenteert zijn nieuwste collectie. En ik heb een interview met hem. You and Co van der Horst go way back in collaboration, right? So how did that start?
I don't know. I mean, there's not that many places that have the long expertise and the breadth of brands that Co van der Horst do, and also they do amazing service. They've got a reputation for it, so they seemed the obvious place to land when we first started selling our things in Amsterdam.
How would you characterize your new collection?
Well, you know, it's the same obsessions as usual. I still have a long love affair with all kinds of metallics, which you see quite a lot behind you. Yeah. But you know, the more recently I've been investigating a lot of plastics, textiles. I just have, you know, obsessions with a specific manufacturing technique or a material, and I dig deep into them. These are still experiments in kind of luminosity. I mean, I guess this is coming from my experience in discos, you know. So this is the idea where you get an infinity mirror, which looks a bit like a kaleidoscope. But I was also experimenting in another effect, which is to try and see if I could make a lamp that looked significantly different when it was on and off. So this lamp on and off is two very different states. So you can't see inside at all when it's off, and it just reads as a kind of almost like a black pearl.
I understood you didn't finish your art education, art school. How did you obtain your knowledge?
I spent 6 months at art college, and it really didn't agree with me. I think some people progress very well when they're being taught, and other people need real life experiences, and I was one of those. I wanted to do things, make things, and you know, the way I became a designer was just by practicing, really. I think you need to be curious and you need to be interested, and you know, design's a great job because you can remain interested in so many different subjects, you know, for your whole life. I think because I spent a short life in the music business in London just after the punk movement. You know, it was quite a liberating time for, you know, English teenagers, because it kind of proved that just with an attitude and very few skills actually, that you could actually be master of your own destiny and have, you know, and output things. And that stayed with me when I started designing.
Well, I'm looking at the mirror ball right now.
Okay.
One of your biggest successes, I think. What do you think it requires to have such a bestseller?
It's quite hard to define, really. The strange thing about that lamp is that from a design perspective, it's a failure. You know, I started off trying to make an invisible lamp, one that just reflected its surroundings. So I thought that if I made something very pure, very reflective, that it would just blend in like camouflage into the surroundings. But of course the mirror ball does the opposite. It's a really blinging object and has been a success as a result. So what's satisfying is that everybody loves spheres. You know, the earth is spherical, a drop of water is spherical, a mirror ball in a disco is spherical. So it's a very satisfying shape.
How are the reactions so far?
These ones are really the big winners. These ones are really taking off. Actually some of the others aren't here yet. And then I've got this slightly kind of kinkier black which is going on here. Black is an interesting colour just in terms of how it's used, particularly in the fashion business, right? Where it's almost the most elegant colour. But here with its kind of reflections, it acts almost like a metallic. You know, you can see it's so glossy that it's mirroring the surroundings. It's got this kind of slightly loose connotations, you know, of rubber and vinyl and all of those things that you see in the red light district in Amsterdam. I really like this almost reflective black, which is like oil or treacle.
Right. Would you be capable of designing everything?
No, I mean, I think there's some things which take a degree of expertise to properly design, but I think, you know, I've often found I'm better at designing things when I'm not all-knowing when I'm a non-expert.
Is there anything in particular on your wish list for the future?
Oh yeah, for sure. You know, we've done a lot of work in furnishing, you know, so chairs and tables and lights, and then we've done a lot of work in interior design. But we've only done kind of one building, and I think architecture is really interesting. You know, so you're doing the envelope of something as well as its contents. But I'd love to do some electronics, because that's the thing that people are really using, where the real innovation is happening right now. Transport would be fantastic. Bridges, tunnels, you know, civil engineering, maybe town planning. I mean, how big could I go? I don't know.